A growing number of Republicans have come out in support of Biden receiving the intelligence briefings traditionally afforded to president-elects, but few have spoken forcefully about Trump's refusal to accept the election results or denounced his false statements about the election being rigged or questioned why he hasn't provided evidence to back his claims. President Trump's actions have the potential to affect this country long after he leaves office and will likely make it harder for Joe Biden to bring this nation together as he has pledged, which Martha Raddatz saw firsthand.
While the president-elect has been calling for unity,
this election is over. It's time to put aside the partisanship and the rhetoric that designed to demonize one another.
It's not going to be easy as the president refuses to concede and continues to inflame his 70 million plus voters with the false message that the election was rigged.
I will never accept Joe Biden as president. I mean, if that's your question, that's my answer. I just don't believe that he's right for our country.
You think Donald Trump has won?
Absolutely, I do. I mean, for me to believe that Joe Biden got 78 million votes, got the most votes of any president ever in the history of voting, I find that very hard to believe.
That's never going to be accepted. It's never going to be accepted.
On a quintessential late fall afternoon in a middle-class neighborhood in Youngstown, Ohio, I talked to Gino DeFabio, Tony Esposito, and Laird Eric Wells. Gino and Tony were Democrats until 2016.
We always said that if we ever had a person that talked just like us, and that ran for president or ran for an office, we were voting for that person. And that's what Trump is. It's hard to explain his allure, but obviously 70 million people think he's a great guy and want him reelected.
As Trump continues to baselessly declare he won the election, it resonates with these men.
There's a recipe for disaster when they decided to have these mail-in votes. I don't think there's any way of proving the person that mailed that in is the person that actually did it.
Do you want me to read you the numbers now for the states that are still outstanding? I mean, they're all well over 10,000 in each state, some 45,000 in each state. You look at what secretaries of state have said, they have seen no evidence of massive fraud.
From my vantage point, there's too many smoke and mirrors in terms of ballots appearing here, reappearing there, disappearing here, this, that, and the third. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's no way.
It is Sambo, nigga.
It just doesn't smell right. Too many irregularities.
And even though Trump's own Homeland Security Department is calling this the most secure election in history, mother of four Carrie Paschal also believes the election was rigged.
He was winning. It goes into nighttime. All of a sudden, you wake up the next day and the state that was red is now blue.
The mail-in vote, it's COVID, and so many people voted absentee, which is one of the reasons all the votes came in late. But you just don't trust those votes?
They kept finding them. It's like, how come you're finding them here, find them there? You weren't finding them in big Republican districts. It just seemed kind of crazy that everything that seemed to come in, how's it 100% Biden?
The New York Times just did a massive calling every Secretary of State or some representative from each state, and every one of them said they saw no evidence of systemic fraud or any sort of massive fraud in each and every state. I think they're totally...
I think there was fraud going on.
She gets along with her neighbor Mike Hall, a Navy veteran and Biden supporter, when they don't talk politics.
So if the evidence supported the claims of fraud, then the court and the judge would see that, and they haven't so far. So, I mean, just because the president tweets it or says it at a podium doesn't make it true. You can't speak facts into existence.
But he worries Kerry and many other Trump supporters will never be swayed by Biden.
Can he bring the country together? I think he can do a heck of a lot better job at it than the current president is doing for sure. But one man is not going to heal this country. There's just too much divide. If the 70 million people that voted for Donald Trump don't come to grasp with the fact that this election was legitimate, and they don't accept it, I don't know how we're going to be able to, heal that divide.
Back in September.
All right. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith. Just want to get into a quick video. As you see, America is divided. Oh, yeah. All right. So, and look what Yahweh Shah said. Okay. So, this out of who the world ignorantly called Jesus' mouth. And Yahushua knew their thoughts, talk about the scribes and Pharisees, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and that's what's about to happen. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. All right. And I'm going to read through these pretty fast for the sake of time, but I got a few scriptures, man. But this is a beautiful thing, man. Man, for if you've been in this truth for a little bit, you've been, like I'm telling you, when I first came into the truth, I wanted to see the end the next day. Okay? Man, it's a beautiful time, man. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Beautiful time. This should bring joy to your heart. And he said, Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, Salakia. Let me read that again. And I, who is I, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay? That's what's coming. That's what's coming to America's streets. That's what's coming to this kingdom. This shit is about to crash for that ass. And you have to understand that we are in peerless times right now. All right? Let's read this one more time. And the Egyptians, okay? And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. Who is the modern day Egyptians? These so-called pale-faced, non-melanated, no swag having white people, which are called Edomites in the Bible, and the progenitor of them is Esau. Okay? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. Yahweh hear the cry of his saints. And we have men that have been in this truth, that have been crying for over 30 years. All right. 2nd Esdras 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because a lot of destruction is coming. 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What is the modern day sword? Guns. Okay, it's about to be shootout out here. It's about to be the purge out here. It's about to be the wild, wild west out here. Okay, and if you don't have the covering of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you're going to die. You're going to get caught up in this mess. All right? If you are part of the elect, and we all hope to be, the Most High is going to save you out of this. All right? He said that we're going to see the destruction of our enemies, man. So, Lord willing, I get a chance, and the brothers also get a chance to watch this on the big screen, okay? Because I don't want to be partake of this. I ain't vote. I vote for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But you got people who about to go crazy over these two devils. For there shall be sedition among men. What is sedition? The uprising. And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to regard the government. They're not going to regard any, type of government officials, the police. Okay, it said that the course of their actions stand in their power. Okay, they about to take over. You got Republicans and Democrat, which is the same damn thing. It's only one government. They together. But the people are so stupid. Oh, man, this is comical to me, man. But it's a beautiful thing at the same time. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Because when all hell break loose, it's going to be bad, man. And then you gotta remember martial law coming, man. Joe Biden got the coronavirus task force talking about how he want the military to deliver, the vaccination because the people going to not want to take it, which that just stems from Operation Warp Speed, which that's a Trump act right there. So you see how I just switched over? Biden basically calling the coronavirus task force. It's the same thing as Donald Trump Operation Warp Speed, man. It's the same government. They back on them islands, you know what I'm saying, touching each other and shit, because that's what they do to freaky deaky Edomites. You know what I'm saying? They back there laughing, drinking Mai Tais and hot sakis. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, look at this world. They really think that we beefing. You know? They ain't beefing. They not beefing. They from the same team. Okay? But this is why it's happening. Verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because when all hell break loose, as it say in Luke 21 and 26, that a man's heart is going to be failing them. So people are going to be dying of heart attacks. Their heart going to be beating out their chest. Their eyes is going to be bulging out their eye sockets. Like, what the freak is going on, man? But guess what? The prophet's been telling you for years. And now we see it. And it's a beautiful thing. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. Famine is coming, and for great tribulation. Don't you understand that this dividing of the kingdom is going to cause a whole bunch of other things? The Most High is the ultimate domino. Okay, and he gonna hit one domino and they all gonna fall together. So all this stuff is going to just come down the line. It's gonna be probably a martial law. Then it's gonna be the famine. Matter of fact, the famine might come before that. You know, we don't know which way it's gonna come. We just know it's gonna be a domino effect. All right. So a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. That's what's coming to this earth because of this. And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. America is finished. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. We actually seeing it. If a man can go into the scriptures and then add on and then go into life, you got men that's going into life, reality, and then comparing it to the scriptures. So you have to ask yourself, who's telling the truth? Is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai telling the truth? Or is man telling the truth? So you're going to have to make a decision, man. Talk about the people that's on the fence. You either in or out. But Shalom, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Shalom.